Someone in our group had asked, I know you were putting something together, but how do you define aggressive and short-term link? Should be the short-term link building. How do you
Yeah.
define aggressive and short-term link building? And this was in response to a meme that I made. Get it up there for you guys. 1 second. Don't know how to use computers. I'm a boomer. No offense, boomers.
Yeah, contrary to popular
Okay.
belief, me and Chris are not the most technically inclined people. We don't code, we don't read computer languages, um, but we know how to use WordPress pretty well, and that's helped out substantially.
I'm kind of technical, except when I accidentally click Steam. All right, here we go. We're rolling. We're rolling. All right, so yeah, I made this meme the other day. Just from conversations with people, given advice to repeatedly in some cases. And then they go around and they say, oh, cool, cool, yeah, yeah. And then they go and they do something and it's, the opposite of what you told them to do or suggested or whatever.
I feel like that happens 90% of the time. It's like I spent time speaking with somebody probably for 30 minutes to
Yeah,
an
yeah, like
hour
you literally like,
about their stress level and their situation and telling them like, hey, here's what I would do. Has nothing to do with, you know, I'm not charging them for advice. I'm not sending them to buy my products. I'm literally just telling them, here is what I would do as far as like a recipe for how you get out of this hole you're in.
mhm.
Um, and it's like the concept of going slow and smooth is alien to them. They freak out and they stay along that trend path of making more
There's just so
mistakes.
many, I, f- I don't know what it is about SEO in general, but I feel like there's such like a sense of desperation
For
in a
sure.
lot of these people. And it doesn't have to be just like someone that's new and they're have an affiliate site, even just like a business owner.
Yeah,
Um,
agency owners that don't really understand SEO all that
yeah,
well, the more white hat style
there's
especially.
this
It's
extreme
up to the Google
desperation.
gods and I'm about to lose my business.
Yeah, like it just
Like
extreme insecurity,
I couldn't
extreme desperation.
imagine.
I need it now, now, now. I
Could you
need
imagine
results now.
owning an agency for, let's say 5 to 10 years, being on the white hat side of things and only listening to like fucking John Mueller and those people and
I'll pull
basing an
up that other
entire business
comment
model
that I
on
showed
that?
you in a little bit
Oh
too.
my goodness. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. It's like I would rather go get a job at Walmart than have that kind of stress level.
Maybe today we'll just rant about stuff.
I kind of feel like ranting. I feel like there's a lot of stuff, and we never do this. If you got a question, go ahead and put it up in the group and we'll get to it. But we're going to rant for a little bit. Let's base it off this meme.
Yeah, so me and Nick try to maintain a pretty professional like demeanor publicly and stuff. But you can 100% know for a fact that, when the stream turns off and we're talking to each other, there's a lot of ranting going along a
For
lot of
sure.
yeah, I
I
mean,
feel like a lot of SEOs make that public and we've done pretty well hiding it. However, I think now it's not about us ranting it like an individual. It's more so just here is what we're seeing in the community as a whole.
the community is
And this
sick.
mindset is an issue because y'all have been force fed bullshit guru mentality for
Exactly, man. Oh my
forever.
God.
You think SEO is something easy that you don't have to study hard for. Every day that we're in this, we're learning new trends. We're going and we're picking up new topics. We're reading about it. This is like being a lawyer or a doctor or something higher end. You cannot just learn, a little bit and then just excel at it. You have to constantly be on the study
I
for
guess
it.
that's what it is
And
though,
if you're
right?
studying the wrong shit,
It's the
you're gonna have a,
courses.
a broken brain. The
Because
courses,
that's how they
the
sell, right? The
the YouTube and
course.
Facebook mentality of just like, oh, I'm part of this group, and that means I'm gonna succeed.
Yeah.
No, you are your own boss. If you're out here buying links, buying content, building affiliate sites, quit putting your business in somebody else's hands. Start learning all the fundamentals, study them hard, understand what works, and then you'll know who to rely on to execute on some
And
of that
understand
stuff.
that
And
and
that's where the
understand that it doesn't
stress,
come fast. The results don't come
no,
fast. If they do, it's probably risky.
yes,
Um, and yeah, but I mean that's probably it though, right? It's all the guru stuff and the courses
I think
because
so.
a course would not sell well if it wasn't somehow pitched along the lines of if you just know my method, you're gonna just
Yeah.
it's gonna come fast, the success is gonna be easy. Um,
It's
I mean,
funny
not
because
everyone
I
watches
think
courses and stuff, especially people that are kind of like more tangential to the industry rather than right in the middle of
for
it. But
sure. I
um,
think with the amount of content we've put out, we've given like a full course worth of recipes to
Oh,
success.
100%, 100%. You
You
just
know,
it's just not
and
in like a
it's like
nice
we're not
format, right?
charging
You have
for
to
it.
like dig
Yeah,
through
it's
it
not a nice
and
format.
piece it together yourself.
Yeah, but that's part of the study. You know, you find somebody who maybe gives you a little bit of info that you can use. Okay, prod at it. See if that variable that they gave you a little narrative on is going to be able to be manipulated by what you said or what they said and for the better. If that works, then you kind of string along, right? It's like anything else. You know, you don't blindly trust anything. You kind of audit what you're learning, and you're going to find that over time, 90% of the people that you thought you could trust in SEO, just like any other industry, we're kind of more after the money than giving you their actual expertise on what works. And maybe to some degree, it's because they don't actually know what works.
I think they
Because a lot of gurus
well, some of
just,
them I think they do know it works. It's just like, like Becker, it's not an SEO person anymore, but we were talking about someone earlier. He's first and foremost a businessman. Gurus are first and foremost, trying to make money off of no one some people just want to be a guru because they want to be a star or whatever, but I think anyone I think the overwhelming majority of people that have guru status, they do it because it's a way to make money. They have to, it's their form of marketing, right? Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it's just all bullshit, right? There's just so much bullshit. Even from like the
I mean,
even from like the
it's
big
not
like
all right, but
yeah, of course there's like good stuff mixed in there, but even from like the people that I would consider like top tier gurus, there's still like high amounts of bullshit mixed into it, which is purely just to like add
yeah.
fluff and add like
Yeah,
this
we're
kind of
losing
like
you a little
ooh
bit,
value
Chris.
to their what's up?
We're losing you a little
What'd you
bit.
say?
Losing you a little bit.
Okay. I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, you're coming back. All right, continue.
I was just saying, even like some of like the more like top tier gurus and stuff, there's some good stuff in there. There's some good stuff, and I think they do a pretty good job of explaining stuff overall. But then there's a good amount of stuff that I consider just to be like kind of like fluff content, which is kind of like total bullshit that they just put in there to like basically make their thing look like unique or like they're contributing something new to the fucking discussion or basically doing any kind of real discovery or whatever on their own.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like a lot of that stuff is kind of what ends up making them stand out, and so people then kind of like latch on to these things like they're actually meaningful when they're really not. It's
Yeah,
it's
the
the it's
idea
the
of
core fundamentals that
yeah,
are
the idea
mixed
of
in
false
with all the fluff on
technicality.
top, like the
Yeah.
normal stuff, the stuff that everyone already knows is the important part, right?
Mm-hmm. For
Um,
sure.
so anyway, back to the question. He'd asked what do we mean when we talk about aggressive short-term link building, and it was in response to this meme. Beginner SEOs, they have a hard time like, ooh, should I do this a risky short-term link building, or am I going to actually spend time and money and build a link profile that lasts? And of course, doing that means results will be slower. But guess what? Results are going to be more stable and you're going to have better chances of being successful like into the future rather than um, basically some turbulent shit show of a website that
Yeah.
sometimes generates traffic, sometimes gets slapped down by another algo update. And I'll show you an example of this. I can't show you the site itself. I'll have to do a screenshot. Um, Let me go
I
ahead
think
and pull
a
that.
lot of people, they tie their projects to their bankroll heavily out of the gate, and then they end up blowing their wad before they're even really like taking off in the SERPs. And the truth is, this day and age, to get a website that's successful, like let's say an affiliate or anything else, it's going to be a slow and steady move to the top. And that's why we preach, fundamental skill sets, and then make sure that you've got bankroll that's going to last through your campaign budget. These are all individual businesses you are creating. They're not just websites. And, a lot of new people, they learn something. They're like, oh, wow, we're going to jump on, we're going to build an agency, or we're going to, build 5 affiliate websites. Just keep it simple.
All right, Nick, so you can see the graph I'm showing them, right here.
Uh, oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know if you
okay.
can see that.
I thought you
All
meant.
right, so this is an example of basically someone I've been talking to for quite some time now, and they're always
They have an idea of what they want to do,
they
I
have
guess.
yes, they I don't know where exactly they're getting other information from, um, but it's like no matter what I try to tell them, uh, they they kind of like take it in and they kind of like agree with it or something, and then they keep trying their own thing. And their own thing is what we would consider short-term, riskier link building. And you can see by the graph right here, it's not working for them really at all. Um,
It's
it's
like you're
just
getting blips of success, but there's something missing in the recipe there that's not allowing your website to take
yeah, it's
off. And
just
just at a
this.
glance, I mean, that's what's kind of going
It's a
on. You're
turbulent it's a
teeter-tottering.
turbulent mess, right?
Hmm.
They do something and it shoots up, and then Google's like, hey, that's weird. Nope, and then it goes back down, and
Yeah.
they
It's not anything risky enough to warrant like a penalty or anything like that. But if
yeah.
you look at just the overall rankings, I mean, how long is that timeline over, Chris? I
This is
can't
over
see.
years. This is over
Yeah.
years.
So this is
Um,
multiple years, and you look at the success, and then boom, back down, up, down, up, down. There's something that's not quite making this the authority site that, quite honestly, it should be at this point in time, because it's got a good budget. It's got smart people behind it, but they're making some plays that, in our opinion, would be counterintuitive to restoring balance and getting this thing to move up continually. Um,
so back to the question was, how do we just I basically was saying, or the post I made was kind of somewhat in response to this one as well as another one which I might show. Um, and basically they were just constantly going against what we're telling them to do, which is like, look, things do not look good and healthy. Like you need to just be very conservative, very like natural, very like kind of like foundational link building would be
Homepage.
lots of
Yeah.
homepage links. Yeah. Of course, a diverse mix of link types, but for the most part, you're going to be building niche edits and guest post type links, editorial type links, mix of authority levels with a focus on kind of mid to higher authority, natural anchors, branded anchors, URL anchors, generic anchors, and yeah, all to your homepage, right? When things are looking like this, this is not when you see a graph like this, the first thing that comes to my head is, okay, we're going to the home page. Like without a question in my mind, like things don't look healthy, things don't look stable. We're not going to start erecting a huge tower on top of this foundation, right? It's just going to fall over, which is they've done like repeatedly. Um, and time again, they go for the riskier short-term stuff. They might start doing some homepage kind of like safe linking for a while, and then they see things get better, and then instantly they go back and they start doing weird shit. They start doing these anchor texts that look super unnatural, with like dashes and like keywords and like
And they
um,
don't want
and
any
they're
kind of pillowing going along with it, like in the sense of pillowing from like a natural anchors to the homepage perspective. It's like when they decide to go in on the inner pages, it's all in on the inner
yeah, yeah,
pages. No more of the opposite.
and that's another
We're
thing.
good
Short-term
now.
aggressive link building. When I think of aggressive link building, one of the things is just inner pages. They're just slamming inner pages.
Yeah, with
They said,
nothing
"Hey,
going to
look,
the
things are
homepage,
going up.
nothing going
It's
to.
things are healthy now. So now we're just going to slam inner pages immediately. Like the foundation hasn't, you think about like building a house, you know, you've laid a foundation, like the cement isn't dried yet. Like, you know, you still need to like, the
Yeah,
work of the foundation is not
keep the
done.
trend going.
Yeah, you want things to actually be stable for a little bit, not these just like blips. And yeah, they just immediately they start going to inner pages. They start getting aggressive with anchors. They start using really unnatural anchors. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like stuff you would see in like
It's kind of
old school.
stuffing. Yeah. A lot of
It's like
keyword
old school
stuffing
SEO, yeah, with
and
like dashes and like what the hell are you doing? Like where
yeah,
did you
trying to
see
use
this?
multiple keywords in one
Yeah,
anchor
or
to
like
quote get the most
branded,
out of
just
it. It's
like
like,
this does not look natural. Like
yeah.
no one links to things like this anymore. Like it looks like a
Yeah.
footer link or something.
Yeah.
Um, but they're trying to do it like contextually, like in articles. It's just, and they're doing like lots of them. So they're doing these things
Hmm.
repeatedly, and so yeah, and they're the anchors they're using aren't diversified. They're kind of doing the same things over and
Or they're
over.
diversified, but they're all like stuffed money keywords, right? So it's not like the same one over and over again as much as it's like
Yeah.
variations, right? Or am I wrong about that project?
Um,
I can't remember.
they they do some kind of variations sometime, but
Okay.
they
All right.
for the most part they're kind of just doing repetition of a couple of different things.
Hmm.
So it's diversified in that they're not doing the one thing repeatedly, but uh, we need more diversity than that, right? You can't just do three different things repeatedly. That's not diversity.
Right. Right.
um, but yeah, they basically just aren't giving the site some time to like settle and just maintain this like steady like growth and steady like naturalness and Google to actually build trust with Google. It's like it's more like an abusive relationship, right? Where they, like you know, you have like this super like
You like
manipulative.
using that analogy
Well,
a lot.
that's what it's
It's
like, you know.
fun. I know. Yeah, I got it.
And so they're
It's good.
like, oh, you know, they get in these huge fights, and then the guy maybe is like manipulating it and talking down to him and stuff, and then they're like, okay, we're breaking up, and then he's like, oh no, baby, things gonna be all right, and like it's just this like back and forth of,
Whoop,
and as soon as
boom.
things start to get better, they just bam, straight back to the bullshit, and yeah,
Yeah,
Google,
and
you can.
Google knows. Google ain't putting up with that shit anymore, you know?
Google
Like it's
doesn't like
not.
it, man. You know,
No. And Google's smart. Google's a smart lady or non-gender, but
what was the other
company.
one? Obviously don't say it. Uh,
I can't. I'm trying to think of. Um,
I think I had it written down actually somewhere. 1 second. Sorry for
yeah.
the quick delay. Give me one moment, ladies and gentlemen. Um, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, that's a nice little volatile graph.
Which one should I do? I'll just do this one.
All time. Yeah.
All right, so this one, you know, this is another site, and you know, you can see these guys are actually working with a little bit more traffic over here. Let me make sure I got it pulled up. You know, these guys are actually working with a little bit more traffic. You know, the site's a little bit bigger than the other site. Um, but you can see the graph is very similar in that it's the constant ups and downs, right? They're not able to get past this hurdle. And I can tell you in my experience of talking with this person, um, exactly what the problem is, and it's the same as the last one. They they get ahead of themselves in that they basically they don't allow enough time for this very natural, very conservative link building before they say it's time to slam inner pages with money anchors, baby. Let's
Yeah.
fucking go.
Yeah.
I think they do monetize YouTube videos for saying fuck, but
I don't even care anymore. I mean, that's
Yeah, that's
part of
fine.
that's
Doesn't
part
matter.
of like, Chris and I've been talking heavily about what we're trying to give y'all with, us putting ourselves out here and giving out information for free. I think the reward here is just being the Robin Hoods of information, and anybody that wants to run with it and then finds a recipe through success for the shit that we've gotten out there. Um, you know, all of this information was something we aggregated from people giving it to us. A lot of times we paid for it, but yeah, that's I don't think we have interest in that. If you're really good at SEO, selling an SEO course is going to be minute returns on your time in comparison to what else you can be doing. This You guys should seriously consider that what we're doing here is literally a hobby. 1 hour out of the week, we just come in and we're giving out information, and that's not counting the amount of time that we're spending inside of the group or in private talking with people that we're not charging either. I like seeing success stories, but
So,
uh,
so this
yeah, go
one,
ahead.
this one, I think I started talking to this person around here, probably when it was crashing. They're probably like looking for help or something.
Help.
And, it's a very easy answer. There might be other problems going on with the site. Look into algo updates, look into your on-page technical, all that good shit. But as far as off-page is concerned, you see this happening, the answer is easy. Authority to your homepage, natural anchors. Right?
Seriously, it's what we do. Yes, it's what we do.
It's that's the answer. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
maybe if you look into it and you see their anchors are just super. They've slammed a ton of keyword stuff, and maybe they have only like one link type or whatever. Then you might do some like diversification. Some like lower authority stuff, and just trying to hammer in a lot of like more like natural anchor text or different link types or whatever. But for the most part, we're talking authority to the homepage, natural anchors, and you want things to first you want to stop the bleeding, and then you want to see things start the steady, slow growth. The steady, slow growth, let that go for a while, and then you can start getting more aggressive slowly.
Yeah.
You start
Yeah, small
slowly adding
percentage
in
of your
inner
anchors. Yeah.
pages with some exact match anchors slowly. That'll make up maybe 10% of your link building in the beginning. Not 50%, not 75%, not 100%.
Usually it's even 10% for my monthly, like even on campaigns that are doing really well. I don't like to go too far out of that, to be honest, for my own projects. And it's because, I mean, if you've got an overall authority site, you don't really need too much interlinking to get yourself movement in popular SERPs. If the overall position of your site is that it's a extreme authority site.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this one, I think, right around here, it's probably when I gave that first. Yeah, right on this. Yeah, right around there is when I gave like the first advice, and then so they started doing it, and that's and you saw things kind of like come back up and start to kind of plateau or whatever, and then I think around here, it might have been even like kind of moving down a little bit. Basically, they stopped doing that, and they're like, and they just, they didn't give the site any time to really start the steady recovery. Um, we didn't see any kind of, it wasn't really like it kind of like popped up a bit, but it wasn't really just giving that slow, steady, nice, like healthy looking curve, right? It
Yeah.
was this kind of like, oh, it blipped up and then it kind of like went flat, and it was like, it's not ready, right?
No.
Like you
Right.
keep doing the natural stuff. And but they didn't. They said it's time for inner pages, and I want to, and I'm doing exact match keywords.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm telling you what to do. Okay, I came to you, but now you're done and boom. Well,
Well, this one I don't think is a client.
yeah,
Um,
either way,
yeah,
imagine it.
but yeah, came to us for help, whatever. But
Yeah, for help.
and then so he started hammering the exact match keywords, and the site reacted awesome, right? They were like, he's probably on the moon. Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah!
Went out and
I went to the
partied. Fucking
gurus. I
yeah.
fixed my site. And then I went back and I started juicing that thing, and he juiced it. He juiced the
Yeah, you
hell
juiced
out of
the
it.
hell out of it. Yeah.
But then what happened? Now he's even lower than when we stopped the bleeding in the first place.
And you know what happens when you get yourself into that predicament? It's ultra hard to inject, or maybe not ultra hard, but it's harder to inject that trust flow back into your website than it was if you would have just done
It
things
is.
properly from the
That's
get-go.
very true. Like once you start seeing sites go like this,
Yeah, they get
you're totally right.
Google has like a questionable, section for sites like this. It's like,
Yeah, Google's like,
it
you're a
like makes
shady
sense, but then
bitch.
it
Like you
doesn't.
are
Yeah.
a shady MF, like, right? Like I don't know if I
I'm
want
like,
to chill
we're
with you
getting
anymore.
loose right now.
It's so true though. Like, and you
Yeah, for
just see
sure.
it over and over and over and over, and they don't want to listen. Um,
No.
you
No,
know,
and they'll ride that wave all the way to crash and burn before they reach out, looking for help again. And then anything that's, slow and steady wins the race is not something they want to hear. So then what do? They go pay attention to some other quote guru who's like, hey, this product gonna rank your stuff. Oh my God. And then they go do it.
uh,
And you know what? Quite honestly,
who was it the other day
sucks to
posted a
suck,
really
man.
funny guru thing, or we thought it was funny.
You
I'm
should
not
you
gonna
should
say
talk
it.
about yeah, don't
I'm
say
not gonna say
particular
it.
names that weird. Yeah. We
There's just
we
so
see a
much
lot of
disgusting
humor.
stuff, man.
There's a lot of disgusting stuff in the SEO world. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean showmanship plays, I mean they're probably making more money than us because they do focus on monetizing every angle of what they've learned. And
Because they
in some
scam people
degrees
to a
that makes them
degree.
smarter, that makes them smarter business people, but it also makes them rather unethical from our points of view. So we don't play those games.
But yeah, so anyway, just to kind of wrap this segment up, we've been ranting for quite some time now on this. But obviously it's
Feel
something we're
free.
passionate about. The question was, how do we define short and aggressive short-term link building? So in this case, there's so yeah, not setting a steady foundation, not doing enough homepage linking, not waiting to see like a steady graph that's going like this, right? Or even like, even lower like this. Just seeing that steady growth over time before you really start hammering links to inner pages with exact match anchors. So in this situation, this is what I mean by short term. It's a very short-sighted, give me results now type of link building. And I'm not saying, inner page links with the exact match anchors are 100% necessary, and they're extremely powerful, right? Once you start doing that stuff is when you're going to start seeing some like massive movements and stuff. But you can't just jump into it when when
I
shit looks unhealthy.
I'd
You
like
got
to give
go
yeah.
for it.
I'd like to give a little example. I've got an authority site I've been working on for a long time. The main page that ranks for something like 60% of this website's traffic, which, equals somewhere around like 20,000 monthly searches or monthly views, has less than 5 links going to it in a very competitive niche.
Yeah.
Um, and majority of those links, guess what? They're not money anchors.
Yes, like if your website, let's say your website has, or let's say your website has 100 referring domains, and you've got an inner page with 15, 20 links already.
Yeah.
Um, you're doing in my from everything that I've seen repeatedly over the years, you're doing it wrong. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
saying it can't
lopsided.
work. It's just very short-sighted. It's extremely aggressive. It's make money fast mentality is what it is. Um, and yeah, it can work. It 100% can work, and it can work very well. But it can also do this, and this is what you see the most of. It goes up and
Yep.
down and up and down and up and down and up and down, and then you quit SEO. SEO is bullshit.
Yeah, you see that a lot.
I did everything.
A lot of sore,
I did everything.
lot of sore
I
losers
did
in this
everything right,
industry.
and it didn't work. Like, no, you
Yeah.
literally did nothing right.
No, you just went and listened to random people, and then
you got jerked
did your own.
around, and you got aggressive, and you lost.
You failed. Yeah.
Um,
It's so similar to like the stock market, I mean, I'm gonna put in my 10 grand, I'm gonna get rich. Wiped out in, X time. Only in SEO, it's probably wiped out in like 6 months to a year usually.
yeah, for sure. Let's see, this one, this site's been going around since 2020.
Yeah.
Let's see how much longer they work on this before they call it quits. And they say, don't know. Don't know, man.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Um,
And if it's even their site, if it's a client site, they might just milk them until they're dry. I don't know. It's predatory as hell out here.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description below for links to our blog for more info on this topic, along with a bunch of other cool stuff like case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. Thanks and happy ranking.